Let earth receive her king.
Okay, so I have to be on many vids in a little bit, and I was telling Nate how bad today went, and he was like, let's get you out of the house, let's go get some food. So we're gonna go eat on like a little mini date kind of thingy, and then I want to come back. Oh, want to hear something really fun? So my expensive, like over $1,000, my camera, my Canon, my big professional Canon, is not working. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's telling me the battery's not charged when I've already charged it. Just today. I can't. So yeah, we're gonna go eat. And then I'm gonna come back, take some pictures, I guess, with my phone. And then see what we'll go from there. Hopefully I have a good night on many vids. That's my goal. Okay, I'm hungry. Cutie, take that booty to the nudie dimension. You got the power of the hoochie. I got a fever for the flavor of... That song's not appropriate. If anyone wants to know what I was saying, it's Fever for the Flavor by a hot action cop. And it was like my favorite video in like 7th grade when I definitely wasn't supposed to be listening to them. So I just got back from dinner. I had a poke bowl, obviously, because I showed video of it. Why am I telling you this? You know this. You were there. I'm not used to vlogging. I went to Five Below and got some Christmas stuff. That's why I'm not really like in frame. We're gonna do another mini holiday haul. Ooh, yeah.
La 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. Don we know our gay apparel. La 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 la.
I didn't really have like too many decorations for like my room, and I was looking for like a cheap little tree, but I don't know. I literally found a tree at Five Below. God, I love Five Below, man. So look, to be honest, it's not the fluffiest looking tree you've ever seen. And the one in the store that was set up was even less than that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that like garland, like you know how they make this stuff, but in like the tree material. I'm going to grab one of those and probably wrap it around so it's nice and thick, because I like them thick. But we're going to set this little dude up in a minute. Wow, they really knotted that. Okay, well, next. Naughty or nice socks. A naughty or nice pillow, so depending on my mood, I can display as such. So I think I'm only gonna use the white ball and use the rest for my big tree, because the decorations that I got, they only really match the white ones, but you'll see what I mean. So here's the decorations I got for the little tree. Got this little ice cream. Little ice cream. I got 2 of these donuts. And a big ice cream. This isn't Christmas, but I found this headband and I have a turtleneck and that matches, and I just feel like I would look really cute. Okay. I got this headband that is Christmas. Don't know what I'm going to wear it with, but it's exciting. Then I got some candy. What I got? Yeah, so I thought that, oh wait. And a blanket. So isn't that nuts? That's why I love Five Below. This blanket has little snowflakes on it. So I got a snowflake blanket, a pillow, candy, ornaments, a tree, a headband, socks, all for like $30, I think it was. Hold on, I have the receipt. $30, $36.36. What? 38 cents. I was like, is that even possible? Ooh, this blanket's very soft. So now I can be festive. Yay! Okay, haul over. camera's crooked, but we're just gonna go with it. I meant to do this. Well, hello, happy Friday. Wow, yesterday was a disaster. I don't even know, like, I fixed the problem. Well, I didn't fix it, it just fixed itself. I don't know if, like, MFC restarted something, or I don't know, got my email, I don't know, it just started working. So I went online, I hung out, I made like $20, and then it just, like, it was dead for me. Like, I didn't even know what to do with my life. So I logged off, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I was just, like, depressed. And then obviously you saw I, like, went out to eat and stuff, and then I came back, and I just, like, I wasn't feeling it. But yeah, and then things just got worse from there. My super expensive camera, I think I said this yesterday too, isn't working. I don't know why it's not working. And then I, like, do the YouTube video. My YouTube video yesterday got copyrighted for the song that I used in the intro, which is like, whatever, cool, like, take my AdSense quarters. But I did try to fix it, and then when I fixed it, the YouTube editor messed up my audio all the way, so everything was, like, delayed like a few seconds, and, like, it was just really hard to watch. And then it takes moments to process, but it literally was taking like an hour or so to process every time, and I have no idea why, because, like, if I were to, like, re-upload, it would take less time than that. But obviously I wasn't going to do that because I was, like, getting good views and it was getting good traction, and I didn't want to be like, oh, let me delete and re-upload. Like, I have a small channel, I can't afford that. So it was very frustrating. I ended up staying up until like 2 in the morning almost, and then I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I was, like, about to be in, like, tears, and I just, like, I went to bed. I couldn't. Well, I was in tears. I just wasn't, like, I wasn't crying, but I was, like, I was so frustrated and, like, just crying, and, like, I just felt like crap, and, like, yeah. So I now, like, I slept, I feel good, I took a shower, I did my photo shoot, so I'll show you guys that. And, yeah, I'm about to eat a little something, and then I'm just gonna try to make up for this really, really weird cam week. And hopefully this weekend and next week will just go better and everything. I'm just, like, frustrated. Tomorrow, like I was saying, I really want to go to the roller rink, so I'm gonna look at the schedule for the roller skating rink and see if they have, like, open skate at any time, because I just feel like that would just be a fun thing to do, and, like, get out of the house and, like, just do something cool. But yeah, I was gonna talk about one thing, but now I'm just like, I don't know if I should talk about it. It's just, like, it's heavy. Alright, why not? This is what this is for, right? So, here, if you want to skip this part, I'm going to talk a little bit about the whole, like, racial thing a little bit yesterday, and talk about my personal experiences. Feel free to listen, but if you are just over it, I'm going to put the timestamp on the screen and just skip it. Feel free, and then I have other things planned today, don't worry. Hey guys, so I just wanted to put a little trigger warning in. I'm about to talk about my childhood, a little bit about abuse, and some stuff that I went through. So if you're sensitive to hearing about child abuse or kidnapping or anything, I mean, I don't go into crazy detail, but it's there. So I totally understand if that's the reason you might want to skip also. So there's this timestamp, and yeah, don't feel weird at all about skipping. Skip away. So ever since yesterday, and I was talking about, like my race and having race affect my cam and everything, and colorism and some of the comments below and stuff like that. I was also getting like messages on like Instagram and stuff, and a lot of people were telling me their stories, and also just out of curiosity, like now that we're talking about it type thing, you know, like it wasn't random, so I didn't really mind answering what ethnicity I was and what is my ethnic background. Now, I feel like a lot of people identify as like one or two of their like main things. My experience, history, life experience, I don't know, like my thing with race has been very rocky for me, and I don't want to get like too heavy or too dramatic, but I come from a, I guess again I'm using this word, an interracial family, obviously. Oh, not obviously, I guess it's not obvious. And my father was not a good person. The issue there was that, and now again, I want to put a slight disclaimer. Like, my mom was very, or is, or was, or whatever, loving. And I do feel like most of what she did was for the best. And I do feel like she also has her own issues. We won't get too much into that, but when it comes to serious topics, scary things, such as like abuse and stuff, this video is so gonna get demonetized, but whatever, she tends to be serious about it, don't get me wrong, but like then after, when you're like recovering or when you're trying to deal with it personally, she tends to look at the bright side. And I'll put an example in a minute, but it did affect me a lot as a kid because I was very like confused. Even until recently, a few years ago, I went to therapy and I was talking to my therapist kind of like about my parents and my background and stuff, and it was really worth just like talking about because I did have a lot of like issues like with all of this and my therapist explained to me like kind of like I feel like the other side, like what my mom's like perspective of it all was, and she just didn't want me to be obviously like super upset or traumatized and tried to make it seem not as bad as it was, you know what I mean? It was one of those situations, and like she knew it was bad, it's just, you know, so just an example of that. I'm trying to think of something that's not like too serious, because there's a few instances I don't think I can talk about on here. So when my dad had visitations to me, my mom went on a school trip. She was a teacher, and this wasn't actually the first time that something along these lines has happened, but this was, I think it was the last time it happened though, to be honest. And because she was going on this school trip and she was going to be by my dad's house, she invited my dad to come, and she was going to bring me. My mom used to teach like elementary school. I think she was teaching 7th grade at the time or 5th grade. I don't remember. I was really little. I just remember like her talking about this and then her saying I think it was for 5th graders. I don't know. What I remember is very spotty. If you want, I can tell you what I remember after, but let me just tell you how the story actually happened. So to make a very long, weird day short, I was still in a stroller. I wasn't like baby stroller, but like, you know, like when you're like a toddler and like you're walking around, and because we went to a museum, so it was just easier to put, I would think I was like 4 in a stroller. So my father did not like my mom and the way she was raising me and all of that. So my dad saw this as an opportunity to take me, and we just left, and he took me all the way to an apartment, and he took a shower, and he was just keeping me. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how long it was, it felt like a few hours, the police knocked down the door pretty much, and he got in a lot of trouble. And he tried to be like, oh, I was just taking her, we were just having a day. And then obviously they were like, you kidnapped her, you can't do that. And he didn't really get in trouble because I don't think my mom like went crazy with pressing charges, but that was a really big deal. And through past experiences and other times that he's done this, he was not planning on returning me. So that's a big deal. And was it traumatizing? Not in the sense you would think. It wasn't like it was scary or anything. I knew him. I was going with my dad. Like, so it wasn't like I was scared. And obviously, I don't, like, most kidnapping happens with family, like, between family members. So, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't too upset by it. But it was a weird thing that happened to me growing up. And whenever it would get brought up, which was very, very rarely, my mom would always say the excuse that he said. She would just be like, oh, he was just trying to spend time with you. Like, you were fine. It was fine. He just put you on his bed and, like, you were just having a good time. Like, it wasn't, you didn't even know what was going on. And that's just, like, a very minor how she kind of, like, sugarcoats things. There's another time where he got physical with me and I took it as him trying to kill me. And she was like, oh, no, no, no. He was just trying to scare you. I was in the other room. He wouldn't have killed you. Like, what does that mean? Like, why is that better? I don't get it. But that's just the way, like, she handles things. So growing up, it was just, it was weird, you know? And until I was about 12, I was living in New York City. And I didn't really have a lot of experience with, like, racism. Like, I didn't really have many, I don't even remember an instance. My friends were very diverse. But the signs of me having a aversion to, like, people that reminded me of my father, whether they were male or female, started in preschool. So I had this preschool teacher who was like my father, had a deep voice kind of like my dad, big like my dad, dark skinned like my dad, and I did not like her. And there was no reason for me not to like her. She was very, very sweet, and I just didn't like her. I had friends when I was younger that were black and Spanish, and like I said, they were very diverse. So it was only, like, really adult figures that affected me on this level, and it was very subconscious. Like, obviously I wasn't, like, purposely, like, oh, this lady reminds me of my dad. Ew. I was little. I was, like, 3 or 4. Like, I was a little girl. So I just was, like, I just didn't like her. I didn't like, every time she tried to pick me up or talk to me, I would cry, I would run away. I didn't like her. And then I moved to New Jersey when I was, like, 12. I'm going to try to, like, say the story as fast as I can. And this is when the racism started. I was in a primarily all-white class. I don't even remember a black person in our class, but I assume there was. I think there was an Indian girl in our class, and that was it. And there was a popular girl, and she was very mean to me, just about my life. She called me ghetto. She said that New York City was dirty, and that just all this, which is kind of, she said she was just always talking, and she was just gross. Like, she's just a gross person. And that was the first time that I experienced that. But I remember just feeling like it worked. Like, her bullying worked. I remember feeling gross. And I remember being like, wow, I wish my mom wasn't with my dad. And that's just such a shitty feeling. And then, not to throw my mom under the bus, because she never really talked crap about my dad, obviously. She never really said anything too bad about him or anything like that. Like, obviously we were all in, what do you call it, agreement that he was a bad person, but it wasn't like we, like, discussed it at length or anything. But my mom never gave me that side. She never really had me around too many people of my culture. We never, like, visited really anywhere. And I don't even really blame her, because to be absolutely honest, I don't think she knew what I was. I don't think she knew what my dad 100% was, and it was just easier for her to like guess and make jokes, we won't talk about those, than it was for her to, like, we didn't have DNA testing like that back then, you know what I mean? We couldn't figure out like what I was. So it was very weird. I felt very, very removed from that side. And growing up, the bullying just kind of got worse. I had black girls walking up to me in school being like, what are you? Why are you on their side? Like, just really weird. And white girls that would be like, oh, that black girl, Noah. And I remember every time it was said, it just made me feel really weird. Not ugly or anything, just weird. Like, I'm not trying to sound conceited. I always knew I was very pretty and I was very popular in high school. Like, it wasn't like that. It was just like really weird. Like someone would be talking about something and they'd be like, oh, I was with like Brielle and Brittany and Courtney and Amanda, and they'd be like, oh, Brielle, she's that black girl, right? And I'd be like, I just never heard that. It was just so, it was so weird. So growing up, I was really confused. Like, I was like, what am I? Like, who am I? And I didn't feel accepted by that community at all. So it was one of those things where I was like, I was confused. I also felt like to be accepted, I had to change who I was. And I kept just being called like these names because I was too white. But like, what do you want from me? Like, that's all I know, I guess. I don't know what that even means. Like, how do you talk white? I don't know, I just talk. Like, I never understood it, and it used to really hurt my feelings and just make me not want to be responsive. So, sorry, I'm getting emotional. So, like, it was just one of those things where it was just really hard growing up, and I really did wish that I could have more friends that were like that. It was just hard. It was really hard dealing with that. And so many years I was just very, very confused. I never really denied what I was. I would always just tell people I didn't know, or, you know, but I wish I had more of that. Wow, I didn't know I was going to cry. So, sorry. About a year and a half ago, I decided to do the ancestry thing, and I was like, finally, I'm gonna know who I am. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I'm gonna know. And now, my mom had like ideas. I'm not gonna say she was completely like clueless. She tried, but I don't think she knew. You know, it wasn't really her fault. I don't want anyone to like talk badly about her. Because I know sometimes she watches my videos and she thinks I'm speaking badly about her, and I'm really not. And I know you tried your best, and you're a single mom, and you did a great job, and you did what you could, you know? So I took my ancestry, and I waited, and I was super excited. I still am excited about it. And I knew all of my mom's side for the most part. And now, it's so annoying. I have it on my other hard drive, my results, and I don't remember my login, so I can't be exact about my mom's side right this second. I do apologize. But it was mainly European descent, big Irish. I think it was like Croc, something. I even knew where I was from. And then there was the side I was actually interested in, you know what I mean? Well, not that I'm not interested in Ireland. That would be really cool. Like, Ireland's beautiful. Like, I'll get to what I want to do with my ancestry results after I talk about this, because I think it's a great idea. I don't have the funds for it, but it would just be something cool I can do maybe when I'm in like my 30s or something. Let me continue. But, so I found out that on my father's side that I am Portuguese, that I am Spanish, like Spain Spanish. I think that's called Hispanic, right? Because Latina or Latino is... See, I don't know the difference. This is my issue. I'm so clueless. So feel free to correct me or help me, because it is very, very hard. Now, it was interesting, side note, because I did grow up, the people I was accepted by and friends with was the Latino community. So I had a lot of friends that were Spanish, that spoke Spanish, that I spoke Spanish, and we just had a great time. So there was a huge part of me that felt that that was like my culture. And it's cool to know that as much as I don't have like that in me, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, like for instance, I'm not, I can't think right now, Mexican, right? I wish I was, it'd be cool because my friends were, and yeah, you know what I mean? So that was one of the things, but no, so I'm Hispanic, I'm from Spain, I think that's what it's called, right? And Portuguese, I already said that. I have Brazilian, and I have Bantu African, and I think that's it. Yeah. I'm not, even if I had the results in front of me, I don't feel comfortable and like talking about like percentages, because I don't feel like people should be like broken up like that. Like I'm all of these things. I'm a nice little mix, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, because I heard somebody once be like, oh, like what are you more of though? I'm like, ew, like what does that even, I don't like that. You know, like I don't know what that means. And then I was like, there's a few, sorry. So I started looking into like all of those cultures and everything like that. I learned all about like the Bantus. I learned all as much as I could about like Portuguese, Brazil, Portuguese involvement in Africa, just a bunch of really fun things, and I loved it, and I do love it. I still love it. I still research it, and I love to meet people that I can share a culture with and that talk about it with me. And tell me things. I started cooking a little bit of like the food just to like taste and stuff, because I love cooking, and I just was like, oh, let me experience this. So what I wanted to do is I think it would be really, really cool to like take my ancestry.com results and just straight up like visit all of those places. Like it listed so many cool places, and I would love to like visit all of them and like dive into the culture and the language and see what's up, you know? Now, like one of the confusing things about my dad's side is that they're all over the world. So I literally have my dad's side in Asia, in India, in Fiji, in Haiti, in the Dominican Republic, in Puerto Rico, in England, in Italy. So that was confusing, because then I started thinking, like, do those people identify as those things? Like, do I have those people call themselves Dominican? Do they call themselves Puerto Rican? And then, like, they're related to me, but that doesn't make me, like, that was a little bit confusing. Especially because of, like slavery and everything like that. Like, yeah, I still have family in Portugal, I mean, and then, yeah, I still have family technically in, because you know how it shows you on the ancestry thing, technically in Africa. But then, like, there's also slaves, and then they came here. It's very confusing. So I really don't know. I never met like that side of my grandparents or anything like that. I met a few cousins. I think I met my dad's brother. I don't remember it. I know that he wanted to like give me money every year or something like that. My mom like said no, which is like, or no, not my mom. My dad said no, which, thanks, Dad. And so it was just one of those like things where it's just a lot. I've been through a lot with it. Obviously, my story is nothing like a lot of people's. I'm not, please don't feel bad for me. I am now, like I said, I never hated myself. I always thought I was really pretty. I always loved my skin color. Still do. Like, bitch, I'm golden. Like, it's so nice. You know, it's nice. I wouldn't trade my skin color for the world. My melanin is popping. It took a while for me to feel comfortable in the culture. And I don't know. It was a hard time. I feel like people are more accepting now, especially the Black community, of just like, you know, but at the same time, when people ask me what I am, I still don't know what to say. Like, do I just list? Do I be like, oh, I'm European, Portuguese, Brazilian, and Bantu African? Do I say, a lot of times when I say I'm mixed, people are like, oh, you're black and white. But then some people would count those places as black. I've heard Brazilians call themselves black. So I'm black. I'm also Hispanic. I'm also white, but then I don't like that word because then like those places are all different. And I feel like Irish culture is different from Swedish culture and different from English culture. Well, they kind of share a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's weird. I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's weird that we color things. It's weird that we say white. Like, no one's white. Like, what does that mean? It makes more sense to be like I'm from European descent or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Maybe help me. Comment below what I should say. That's probably a bad thing to ask an audience, but yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry to get deep. I didn't know I was going to cry. That was weird. But yeah, that's kind of like my experience and like why I'm awkward with it and why I don't like to talk about it that much. But again, I'm very open to learning and like I really want to go to all the places that were listed and everything. And yeah, I think there's also a weird part of me that always just felt a little silly about it because like I never knew what I was, and then I think I would figure something out. Like there was times before I got tested that I would do my own research on my dad, and then I guess they shared a last name or something, and then I would think I was a ethnicity that I wasn't, but then I was so sure, so I was like telling people like, oh, I'm this, because I felt like I finally found an identification, and then ended up being wrong. So I apologize for anyone that has heard me say I was something else. I don't really think those people care because it's not like I don't really talk about race with nearly anybody, so it wasn't like, and most of the people like online, again, I just tell them I don't know, or I say like, not like back when I didn't know, now I tell them what I am for the most part, but yeah, definitely like I want to say like definitely between the ages of like 16 and 19, I was very like trying to figure it out on my own, make my own family tree with the tiny bit of knowledge that I had. So yeah, that's my whole thing with it all, and that's why it feels really weird for me to identify as that. And yeah. That's also the reason why I was saying yesterday that like I don't think race should be fetishized, but if someone wants to like call themselves like an ebony goddess or like an African queen or something, like don't take what I said yesterday any type of way. Like call yourself, you are an African queen. If you're from Africa, if you identify as that, you are, go ahead. That is not, I'm not telling you what to say or what not to say about yourself. I think it's just one of those situations where I just don't feel like it should be fetishized, and I don't think those statements are fetishized statements. I just feel like customers like to use them as such. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So yeah, no, I identify as a unicorn mermaid princess potato from the land of cornucopia. Take that as you will. But yeah, so I felt so weird talking about that. I really did. Or do. Let's not talk about this anymore. We're done. We're done now, right? We're good. We're solid on this. No, it's not true. I feel like I don't know. I still need therapy. I'm sorry. Hello again to the people who maybe have skipped all of that. That got emotional and weird. Okay. Woo! Breathe. That reminded me of Michael Jackson. Oh my God! Did you see this guy? Hold on. I probably should put it up on the screen, but like at the same time, I want to show you him right now. Look at this guy's moonwalk. So random, right? I'm sorry. Oh, you can't see his feet. It's on my Twitter. He's just so good. Hee hee. I just hope everything on cam goes good today. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing all day, is just walking. And yeah, there's really not that much else to do or say or anything like that. I'm probably going to just end today's vlog here. I don't know. we'll see. If anything exciting happens, I'll come back. But like I said, I'm just going to be working, and that's literally it. So I'm like choking. I was just taking a food break, and Cats and Crows just posted a video. It's literally KATSANDCROWS. Literally just now, she just posted a video about like how to stay pretty much Instagram like safe. I'll play a part of it.
It's Rebecca Crow here. Okay. I know it's been a big time, a long time, but it is time for an update on... Is that too sexual? Am I gonna get taken down for that? Fuck. Instagram censorship. Fuck me. It's got global recognition. We have gone worldwide. People are starting to notice, and people are getting fucked off. It's going to affect communities everywhere. Obviously minority communities, obviously marginalized people, obviously people that genuinely really need to use Instagram are the ones who are being affected the most. And it seems, and it is very clear now, that there is bias towards money, celebrity status, you know, the usual. And this was actually proven. My favorite thing to come out recently is Salty, a media outlet called Salty. You can find them at salty.world. Released a piece, I suppose, on the fact that the Instagram/Facebook nudity guidelines were formed on a Victoria's Secret advertising campaign. This was a paid campaign for a corporate giant. No wonder. I read it briefly. The really disturbing thing is throughout the campaign, A, there's no mention of males, and B, the females are always referred to as girls. How infantilizing. Infantilizing? Whew. Jeez. Anyway, there's been lots of other pro tips coming out and stuff on how to keep your account safe. I've been trying to spread them. I did one on my story, some investigations. I've seen loads of great ones. My favorite one I've seen, however, is from a person called @DyeLindsay, D-Y-E, like dye your hair, and Lindsay, L-I-N-D-S-A-Y. Yes, she did a great swipe along post. Lots of pro tips. Keep your account safe. Things like changing your gender to male, changing your page category, loads of things. The list is endless. It's really useful. And you know what? I think we should be doing more of this. I'm trying to do more. Check out the little highlight on my profile. It will say SWIW help or advice. I can't remember what I've written already. But basically, we'll just be adding tips in there daily. Maybe not daily, but as I can and as I do, just to help. I think we've got to continue this battle. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a really fucking hard one.
I'm going to actually link everything down below, and yeah, stay more Instagram safe with all of these crazy changes and keep your business going without being shadow banned and deleted constantly. So that's cool. Just thought I would pop that in there because I know we're all concerned. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching another vlogmastic episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye-bye.